Hey, and welcome to another episode on my channel. Thank you very much for tuning in, and if you've not already, make sure you hit subscribe, get subscribed, also turn on notifications up in the top right hand corner so you never ever miss an upload. This week what I'm going to be talking about is how to do basic due diligence on properties before you even go and view them. This is desktop due diligence. What I do whenever I look at deals, whenever I'm assessing a deal for myself or for an investor, how I would assess it before I even leave my house so I don't waste my time. It's really important. What I'm going to do, I'm going to jump onto my screen and we're going to do it live on my desktop. And this is the property that I am buying in Bedford. So as you can see, it's on Caister Road in Bedford, just there. And the property is 4-bed, semi-detached house on a really good area in Bedford. Currently on the market, or it was on the market, for £220,000. We've secured it and gone through with the purchase on May the 8th at £210,000. Now, let me look at the general condition of the property. One thing, when you're looking at properties on your laptop before you decide whether or not you're going to go and view them or not, you can do an awful lot of due diligence from your laptop without leaving your home. The first thing you want to be looking at is the condition of the property. What does it look like? Now, this is a perfect example of something that looks fairly good. Let me tell you why. First thing I do is I start at the top and I go down. So I'm looking for roof line. So let's see how it's nice and straight. There's no dips, there's no missing tiles, there's no wet patches, there's no moss. The condition of that roof is excellent. The gutter is nice and straight, there's no damage there. The fascia boards are good, really good condition. They're also UPVC, so they're modern. They're not the old wooden ones that tend to flake and go bad. The roof is in really good condition. Chimney stack next. Is the lead okay? Is the lead layer, does it look like it's loose? Does it look like it's missing? If it's not, then that's good. If it is, then just note that down. Chimney pots are upright. There's no damage, which obviously I'm only looking at this from a computer, and obviously when I'm there I do a proper assessment of it, but I'm still only doing that from ground level. The property is actually in really good condition. UPVC windows, all of them in good condition. None of them are misted up or steamed up in the middle, so they're all good. They all open properly and they all close properly, so that's good. And also lead around the windows, things like that is all good. It's all there and there's no issues. Okay, brickwork. There's no real damage to any brickwork. The pointing's good. There's no cracking. There's no unevenness. There's no bulging, anything like that. If there is any, take photographs and just jot that down. And particularly down here at the joins of windows, things like that, like along there, underneath there, places where there's been openings made for windows and things like that. Also check your doors, okay? Make sure your doors are fully functional. Check the condition round here, because what happens is when people slam doors, the frames move and it causes cracking and it causes water ingress round about the joins. So you need to be careful of that as well. Fence is neither here nor there. It just needs sorting out and painting, but it's all solid, it's all upright, and the side of the house is also in good condition. Okay, so then moving on. Rear of the house, much the same. Check for roof lines, check for conditions, everything's good. There's nothing wrong with the structure of this building on the outside. One thing you will notice is it's got an extension. You can see this one doesn't, this one doesn't, this one doesn't. Them two don't, and any of the other side of the street don't either. Okay, so interior, you can see from the rooms, the property just needs, somebody started to do work to it, but they've not done a very good job. We just need to go in there and sort it out. No kitchen, no bathroom, no electric, no water at the minute. So the property's in, this is the condition it's in at the minute. Yeah, I'm very happy with this property. So my plan is, let me just show you my plan. Let's have a look at the current floor plan. There's the current floor plan. At the minute, it's single let property. We can see that I'm buying it for $210,000. This is the only 4-bed property on the street, and it was built as a 4-bed. It wasn't extended as a 4-bed. Okay, so and that sold 2018 for $320,000. Okay, this is 3-bed. That's 3-bed. So the valuation of 3 beds in the streets and in the nearby streets is anywhere between $260,000 and sort of $270,000, $275,000, maybe maximum $280,000. and 4 beds between 320 and 360, depending on square footage and the location on the street. So there's the current floor plan, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how I decide what I'm going to do with it, if I'm going to do a single let or a HMO. So I'm buying the property either way, purely because of the cushion, because I'm buying it for 210 and I know it's going to be worth minimum 330, 340. Just to confirm with you guys, I have had a structural survey done, which has brought back no known issues apart from what we can see, and I've had a full valuation done on the property. The valuation was done by my finance company that's financing it, and they valued the property currently, as we speak, at £220,000. But the done up value, they've put a value on it of £350,000. So that's the value I'm working off, £350,000. Let's look at single let first. So let's go onto a website called Open Rent. Open Rent basically is a place where people list properties to rent on a single let basis. You can do HMOs as well, but I only ever use it for single lets. The property is MK410DF. Let's just have a look and see what's been rented in that area. We're only looking for 4-bed properties. I'm not interested in anything else. So there's no properties available on the market at the minute because the demand is really high. They don't hang around very long. But there's one property that's been let agreed. That means somebody's actually living in that property and they're paying this amount. So they're paying £1,400 a month. So as a single let, I'm very confident the property would get between £1,300 and £1,500 a month, because that is the going rate for this area. I know that because I've spoken to 3 letting agents, plus I do know Bedford very well. So let me just have a quick look. I said I didn't use Open Rent for HMOs, but let me just check and see if they've got any information on HMOs. Okay, so let agreed room. This is a property nearby, and it's a let agreed in a room. A let agreed for a room in this property. Fairly nice, and they're getting £450 per month. Okay, so that's good. So I'm very confident as a single let will get £1,400 a month, and also as a HMO maybe get £400 to £500. Let's just jump on spare room. There's 22 current properties listed between £400 and £500 a month. Let's compare that to how many people are actually looking for rooms and take it from there. So there's 47 people looking for rooms. So that's roughly 2 to 1. So there's 2 times as many people looking for rooms as there is rooms available. So there's a good demand. Now, this lady here, Annie, wants to move in June and she's paying $550. Professional guy, $400. Guy looking for a friendly home, $500. $450. $650. So I'm very confident we can get $450 to $550 per room. Very confident. I've also spoke to other investors in the area and HMO managers in the area, and they are like, nothing rents for less than $500 as long as it's en suite and in good condition. So again, I'm very comfortable knowing that if I go single let, I will get £1,400 a month, and if I go HMO, I'll get $450 to $550 per month for each room. My plan is to make it into a 6-bed HMO, which means let's just say we get 500, so that's 6 times 5, that's £3,000 a month income. Take away 40% of that will be rough. The 40% will be the rough costings. So £3,000 times 40. We'll make about £1,800 a month profit on that property. This is a really good site, but you do have to pay for it if you want it. It's a website called Landing Site. Let me just put the postcode in, MK410DF. Anyone that's looking for direct to vendor leads, any of this sort of stuff, I'd suggest getting this. Right, so 5 Caister Road. So this is the property here. That one there. Right, okay, so let's have a look. Number 5 Caister Road, as you can see here. It gives you the land boundary, shows you the boundary of land, tells you who owns it, company, and then it tells you their address. If you go on there, it gives you their address, gives you the freehold number, and it tells you last time the ownership changed, which was 1997. Tells you if there's been any planning applications. It tells you some information about the property, gives you what use it is, dimensions, protected areas. So you can do quite a lot of due diligence on this area, on this property. using Landing Site. Also tells you all the nearby sold comparables, which is all great. Okay, so as you've just seen, I've just showed you how to do basic due diligence on properties that you're finding before you actually get out there and do a viewing. It's really good to get into that habit of doing that research and doing that information checking before you leave your house, because it can save you an awful lot of time. So just to recap, the deal I found in Bedford, I'm buying it for £210,000. I'm using a mixture of bridging and joint venture finance, and the property valuation has been done, and it's come back as a value of £350,000 by the finance company. Now that's not to say that we're going to get it at £350,000 once we go to refinance. Could be higher, could be a little bit lower. So that's just a guide, but obviously we're going to do whatever we can to get it as close to that or higher as possible. The options I've got: single let, which would bring in about £1,400 a month in income. After costs for management and sort of maintenance, all that sort of stuff, and mortgage payments, I reckon we'd be left with about £700 or £800 a month profit on that deal. Maybe a little bit less, but about that sort of figure. So it's certainly 500, but probably more like £700 or £800 a month profit on that deal. My preferred option is to make it into a 5 or a 6 bedroom HMO. There's a good demand for HMOs in the area. There's no Article 4. It's a very upcoming area. There's a lot going on there. There's the university, there's a load of private schools, there's a big hospital, there's a lot going on in the area. The headquarters for Bedfordshire Police are there. So there's a large amount of industry there. There's a lot of job opportunities. There's a lot of people want to live there, and it's actually quite a nice area of Bedford as well. So as a 5 bed we'll make £2,500 a month income. As a 6 bed we'll make £3,000 a month income. Now roughly, I know from my other HMOs that the rough costs for a HMO are about 40–45%. So if you just say 50% to play safe, we're going to make about £1,500 a month, or £1,250 a month profit, depending whether we go 5 or 6 bedrooms, and then we would refinance it and pull our money out. Now our total investment into this deal, with all the costs, all the interest, everything, is going to be around £280,000. So just knowing what I know, knowing that it's going to get refinanced to £350,000, hopefully. Like, obviously we've got to do the work, and hopefully it'll come back at 350. If it comes back at 350 and we can get an 80% loan to value, we'll get back from the mortgage company £278,800. So we're about £280,000 in with all the costs, all the finance costs. So we might leave maybe £3,000 or £4,000 in the deal, but we're going to get the bulk of our money back. So really, the return on investment is going to be very, very, very good. So overall, it's an amazing deal. There's lots of cushion, there's lots of equity there, there's lots of profit to be made, and it will rent out very well. So it's a really, really good deal. Guys, I hope you found that useful. If you have, drop a comment below. Make sure you tell me what you liked about it. I'll be doing lots of videos about this property, the process from start to finish, and I'll be documenting it on YouTube. So make sure you watch out for them in future episodes, future uploads. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, get subscribed, and also turn on your notification bells at the top. That way you'll never miss an upload. Peace out, have an amazing week, and I hope to see you again next week.